Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the AME Food Testing Show. Today's topic, online food safety training with Russell Parry. Russell Parry set up Advanced Food Safety Limited in 1995. The company specializes in BRC standard ISO 22000 consultancy and provides a wide range of food safety training courses, which the company provides in-house via book-based distant learning and online e-learning. Russell and his company has won many national and regional awards over the years, including Best Training Company twice, Best Trainer, Entrepreneur of the Year, and various export awards. The consultancy side of the business is well respected, as all clients are A-grade BRC, with several having no conformities or no non-conformities. Russell assisted the very first company in Latvia to achieve BRC, and also the first three companies in Macedonia to achieve the BRC standard, which was through a USAID funded project with Land O'Lakes. Russell Parry is author of the leading brand of AllSafe distance learning courses, which cover food safety level 1 through 3, HACCP, internal auditing, allergens, 5 whys, and health safety. Last year, all courses were converted into an e-learning format with the addition of e-videos for Level 3 HACCP and the 5 whys for BRC standards. Russell is a principal trainer for his company, Advanced Food Safety Limited, and specializes in Level 3 HACCP and Level 4 food safety. He's also developed bespoke courses for many BRC certified food manufacturers, packaging, and storage distribution companies. The distance learning and e-learning courses are exported to over 60 countries, and Russell has worked in various countries as far afield as Brazil and the United States, the Balkan region, and the Baltic countries. The company is now proud to be in a position where training can be provided by traditionals on-site or open courses via book-based distant learning, and now by e-learning. That's today's topic. Russell, can you update us on any of those amazing accomplishments?
No, I think, Andy, and first of all, thank you very, very much indeed for inviting us to talk to you and your listeners on your show. That was a great introduction. Thank you very much for that. I think you've covered pretty much everything. For a small company, we're certainly quite dynamic and very respected over here in the UK. And that was a great introduction. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, Russell, let's begin with a very basic question. What is food safety training?
Okay, well, how we kind of perceive food safety training, it's providing knowledge, it's providing information and understanding to our students on the subject of food safety. And usually, I mean, we provide quite a wide range of courses, as you've said in the introduction, from level 1, which is induction, the first day on a food site, right through to level 4, food safety. But generally, the topics that we get over on training are all about microorganisms, food poisoning, how that happens, the relationship between microorganisms and temperature control. We cover legislation, of course, because there's legislation specific to the food handler. They have their own specific responsibilities under EU law. We cover contamination, cross-contamination, food hazards, microchemical and physical hazards. We go on to personal hygiene, storage and temperature control, design of premises, and then, of course, cleaning and disinfection, the importance of that, pest control, waste control, and generally, at whatever level of general food safety, the courses culminate in HACCP. So basically, food safety is instructing, providing knowledge and this information and understanding of all these subjects. Of course, at different levels. It depends on whether they're new to a company, whether they're supervisors, managers, or general food handlers. But they're all the topics that we wish to get over. But it's important, Andy, I think, that delivering the training is not the end of the story. It's got to be measured some way, and of course usually you have an exam at the end of the training, and of course we want everybody to pass that exam or pass that test, but you've got to show, or the students have got to show what we call competency, and that is not just their understanding, but they're using that understanding and that knowledge that you've given to these people actually in the workplace itself. And you will find now a lot of auditors, particularly on the BRC standard, they're looking not just at training records and training certificates, but competency. So somehow these companies, they've got to measure somehow that the people have not just passed the test and had the training, but they're putting everything into practice in the food business. And the one thing that you can't do as a trainer at any level is assume people understand even some of the basic things. Take hand washing, for example. You cannot take it that a new employee into your food factory or catering organisation actually knows how to wash their hands properly. Many companies just assume, oh, that's simple, they know how to do that. But you'd be surprised, and you can do little checks and tests with glow germ type products and things like that. And similarly, temperature probes. We've got to make sure people actually know how to use the things, that they take a core temperature, that it's calibrated and all these kind of things. So, that's what food safety training is kind of all about, really, but there's a lot more to it than just delivering the training. It's got to be measurable in some way.
Russell, excellent summary of what food safety training encompasses. Let me ask you, what is the traditional form of training?
The traditional form of training, and this is, of course, something that we still do. We're very fortunate as a company that we have the e-learning that we're going to talk about a little later. We are a traditional training company, and we also have all our training in book format as well. So we're kind of very unique in the fact that we can provide training via those three kind of methods. But traditional training, which is how I started and how the company started, or part of the company, usually involves a trainer which might be employed within the company, and usually if you're a technical manager, a quality manager, or a hygiene manager in a food production environment, then it kind of goes with the territory that, yes, you look after all the quality systems, etc., but you train the staff as well. So you can have a trainer in-house, but more often these days, companies hire in or contract an external company like ourselves. And typically, we would arrive on site to give a traditional training course, and we would set up the training room, and of course these days the training is usually delivered with the use of a PowerPoint presentation, and you could enhance that with videos, etc. And it's very, very important that because we've got to get such a lot of information over, and very often, and if there's any trainers out there listening to this, I'm sure they will appreciate very often when you're teaching at a basic level, so factory floor staff, very often they don't want to be there. A lot of people, some companies even, see training as this kind of necessary evil. They've got to do it, So we try to make the training exciting. We try to engage our students as much as we can, because you've got to explain the subject. You've got to get that knowledge over. And yes, you can talk to people about that, but it's much better if you can explain in detail. And what I mean by that is by examples. I mentioned before, something simple like hand washing. You can use the glow germ gels and ultraviolet light, and you can put that on somebody's hands, get them to go away and wash their hands, come back, put the beam of UV light on their hands, and if they haven't washed their hands properly, you will see all the areas where they've missed washing their hands effectively. And that kind of focuses people's attention then, and then somebody else wants to have a go. So people get, a little bit excited, they get engaged about doing that, and then you can show them how to do that properly. And we've even developed board games, like a Monopoly type game, which a lot of trainers use, a lot of companies use, and 8 people or so can use this game at a time, and it's just a bit of fun. But in doing that, in going round the boards and picking up the cards and landing on, environmental health officer squares or inspector squares, and they've got to go to court or they found this on an inspection, it gets a lot of information over to people, and they tend to remember that when it comes to putting that into place into the workplace, when it comes to doing their exams and things like that. So you've really got to involve the candidates. So that's kind of the key bit of training. But the important thing is to get that message over in a clear way, a fun way if possible. And also, very important in traditional training, you've got to relate it to the workplace. And whenever we get contracted to go into a factory to deliver traditional training, we always talk to the technical manager or the general manager to find out any particular problems they've had, anything that was picked up on audits, that kind of thing, just so we can focus on that or mention that as part of our training and our delivery. And sometimes, it just makes that little bit of a difference where somebody from outside the company tells them about, issues and problems that are occurring and how they can improve on these things. So it's very important, traditional training, make it lively, demonstrate, get the information over, but focus it on the actual business that you're in and their potential problems and things like that. And over the years, we've found our most popular courses are our level 3 HACCP or intermediate HACCP. That's the same level of HACCP training that BRC auditors must have. And that's very popular because it's very interactive. There's lots of work activities, from building up flow diagrams to using decision trees, that kind of thing, building up HACCP charts. And people love that because they get an opportunity to do it, and you can kind of nurture them and take them along on that exercise, and they're dead pleased with themselves when they've finished. They've actually done a HACCP study, sometimes for the very first time. And another popular course of ours is the internal auditing course. And again, that's very interactive because they build up an internal audit checklist and they actually do an audit on the afternoon of the course. So it's very, very important to make these courses as interactive as you can with the audience that you've got, really. So that's kind of traditional training. Stand up, deliver the course to your audience there.
Well, thank you, Russell. That was an excellent summary of the traditional form of training, which includes an employee of yours actually going on site, engaging in learning activities, and then having an evaluation or a test at the end of the training.
Yeah.
What is the difference between online food safety training?
The key difference, of course, with that is it's difficult with online training to specifically tailor that to individual organizations. So you have to develop a course that pretty much covers all eventualities. So, for example, our level 2 food hygiene course, or basic food hygiene course, that certainly here in the UK is the level of training that all food handlers must have within 3 months of employment. So that level of training, in our courses we build in scenarios, whether it's catering, manufacturing, packaging industry, that kind of thing. So as much information to all different sectors is encompassed within the training. That's kind of, quite a key thing to get over in any kind of distance learning training, because you, of course, you don't see your audience, so, and there's no opportunity for them to ask questions other than a service we offer, which is, any queries, they can Skype us, or they can email if they're not sure. So developing online courses, you've really got to make it very broad to cover pretty much every eventuality, really, for the student.
Very good. What are the advantages of online training versus the traditional form of training?
There are lots of advantages, really, and we've talked about a few of them. Certainly, as time goes on, factories become leaner, more efficient. One of the kind of issues with that is the problem of releasing staff to do training courses, because a lot of companies are run pretty much down to the wire employee wise. So taking somebody out, or a group of people out, production of course can suffer, and that's one of the beauties of online training, where it can be done at any time. People don't need to travel. They can even do it in their own time. They can do it in the evenings. They can do it in weekends. They might be fortunate and work for a company that has a computer training room or something like that. So they're given time off during the work period to learn. But essentially, that is one of the key things. It resolves this problem of releasing people to attend and travel to and perhaps stay overnight, and all the additional costs of that. That brings us on to the next advantage, which is cost saving. Now, our philosophy as a company is to offer our courses as low cost as possible. And just to give you an example of that, our level 2 food safety course, we sell that at £14. That's £14 for the course, the exam, and the certificate. If you compare that to what a traditional training company will cost, it depends where you are in the country, but it's anything between £40 and £80 if you're sort of in London or something like that. That's how much a traditional level 2 food safety course is going to cost you. So you can see the price difference is vast there, really. So that's another great advantage, a real great saving in costs. And our level 2 HACCP, for example, is £16.50. Even our level 3 HACCP, which is typically a 2.5, 3 day course, that's £130 online. But if you want to do that with a training company, you're talking easily £300 and upwards, really. So cost saving is another great advantage there. You can do, as I said, the training at any time, very, very flexible. And of course, another great advantage is that the training is consistent. So all your workforce, whenever they do the training, they're hearing exactly the same message, exactly the same facts and figures all the time. So it's nice, consistent training there. And of course, the material, once people sign up and log on, the material is there for reference, so they can log on and check out the material and refer back to it all of the time. And of course, if somebody gets stuck, there's email, there's Skype, and they can contact us and we can talk them through something. But to be honest, that very rarely happens, because we've tried to make our courses very user-friendly. When we first developed our courses, we were very aware that the courses that are out there, very often they were written by inspectors and auditors, and we kind of felt that they were either talking down to people, or they were too cartoony, if you like, rather than talking in day-to-day language. So that's how we've developed our courses, and of course they work. We sell thousands of them every year, which is great. So there's some certainly of the key advantages of online training, really. But this issue of releasing staff, low cost, and consistent training are really the key ones there.
Russell, what are the disadvantages of online training? I'm sure there's some out there.
Well, of course there are some disadvantages out there, and online traiing isn't for everybody. That's for sure. Of course, the key thing is for online training, you're going to need a computer. You're going to need internet access as well. So if you are an individual, or if you're a company and you don't have the luxury of a training room, or a suite of computers, or a spare computer in the office, then online training, of course, is going to be difficult for you, unless you get the employee to do it in their own time at home. And sometimes they're not willing to do that. So that's one clear advantage. Got to have computers, got to have internet access, got to be accessible. Another disadvantage could be, some people don't like reading direct off a computer screen. So, you can consider that a problem, because, our courses are e-books and they're e-videos. So you've got to sit at a screen, of course, and take that information in. Some people perfectly happy with that, don't have a problem, but there are some people that they don't like sitting in front of a screen for too long. But again, to kind of counteract that, you can dip in and out of our courses. You haven't got to start it and go through it all in one go, so that kind of counteracts that. And of course, you've got some individuals and some companies, I've got to say, that just prefer a tutor to go in to the company. They want their people, their staff, to be taught, to be instructed, to interact with the tutor. And of course, you won't get that necessarily off an online course. So, they're kind of, again, the key disadvantages that we can see. And as a business, of course, we've got to recognise that. But that's why, with all our training materials, we haven't just got e-learning. E-learning for us is quite a new innovation. Everything started with us with book-based training. So we developed our traditional courses into nice glossy printed publications, and that was the start of the AllSafe brand back in 2002. And I've got to say they're still as popular as ever, because people like to handle a book. They can open it up anywhere. You don't need to plug it in. You can read it on the train, on the bus, on the tube. You can take it home and you can put it on your shelf for reference. So As a business, we can provide traditional food safety, so we go in and deliver courses. We have courses in our book version, and I've got to say they're very popular in the States at the moment, especially our internal audit training courses. And of course now we've got e-learning. So as a company, whatever the company, our clients prefer, we've got an option for them, traditional, book-based or e-learning, because there's advantages and disadvantages to them all, really.
Very good. Russell, you have been in established advanced food safety almost 20 years. In your esteemed opinion, will online training continue to grow in the future?
Yes, without a doubt, really. I mean, we're in such an exciting digital age with, I mean, really, you don't know what the next development is going to be. I mean, we're talking through Skype now, and 5 years ago, it kind of never existed, or at least I don't think it existed. But I mean, we've actually used Skype for training, believe it or not. So who knows what the future holds? All I know, it's got to be a growth area, because there's such a lot happening with digital technology. The speed of the internet, of course, is increasing all of the time. So online training has simply got to grow. I mean, we started our business with literally no overseas clients in 2002, and we export, I think you mentioned in the introduction, to over 60 countries now. Some very far-flung places from the UK, I've got to say. And yes, it all started with sending our books out there, but now, of course, when people log on and can do it online, it's just so quick and so accessible. So how things are going to develop, I don't know. We've certainly got some projects underway as we speak, looking at new kind of technologies and phone technology and that kind of thing. So in my opinion, it's set to really grow in the future. But I think, of course, there's still going to be a place for our book-based learning. That's never going to go away. People seem to love our book-based courses. And of course, there's still going to be companies out there that want people to be taught. So, but I think, the future will be online, and the world is getting a kind of smaller place now. I never would have thought 20 years ago we'll be training via the internet in Fiji and in Africa and even the Ascension Islands. We've carried out training as well. I mean, it's incredible. So it's really set to increase. So who knows really what the future holds, but it's going to be great, that's for sure.
Well, Russell, on behalf of our listenership, which represents about 35,000 food production, food quality, food safety, and food security managers, I could thank you for your time today and your esteemed contribution to food safety training, and allow you now to conclude your remarks with basically an advertisement. If you'd like to send that message out to our listenership, you're now invited to do so.
Thank you very much, Andy, and again, thank you very much for the opportunity to talk to you and all your listeners. I think it's a great thing that you're doing, and we're pleased to be part of that. Very simply, really, for all you listeners out there, we have two websites that you can access. www.food-safety.co.uk, that's food-safety.co.uk, and allsafe.org.uk. If you visit the allsafe.org.uk site, that covers all of our training material. So it's here that you will see details of our book-based distance learning courses. That includes food safety at 1, 2 and 3 levels, HACCP at level 2, internal auditing for BRC and similar standards, our allergen management courses and health and safety courses. On the same site, you will see our e-learning courses, and if you want to start your courses immediately, then you just go to that site, you create your own password, username, pay for the course, and of course you start the course immediately there. And your courses and exams are all online, and the e-learning has the additional courses of level 3 HACCP for any BRC certificated companies out there or similar. You certainly need that level of training. And the 5 Whys for BRC, that's a new course that we put up there. We also have, if somebody wants to try their hand at training, we've developed a range of tutor packs as well. So you can purchase from us food hygiene and HACCP tutor packs with all the information for tutors to deliver training courses. Now the other site we have, the food-safety.co.uk site, that is details of our BRC and 22,000 consultancy. It also has details on there of our in-house training in food safety, HACCP, auditing and allergens. So if you require in-house, have a look at that. It's got all the details of our courses there. And you'll find all our courses are extremely low cost. You'll really struggle to find certificated courses at the cost that we deliver them for. And our customer service, you will find, is second to none. We are committed to our customers, whether you just buy one course off us or whether you hire us to train and keep coming back to deliver more training. And finally, some of you might like to just sign up to our monthly newsletter. You can access that on the AllSafe website and just click on mailing list, sign up. We have a newsletter going out. I think it's planned to go out next week sometime. So, but it goes out every month, and we just give you lots of information, links to good resources, that kind of thing, and promotions on some of our materials. So that will be a great way for people to keep in touch with us. And that's us. So visit those websites, allsafe.org.uk, and we'll be pleased to hear from all your listeners.
Well, Russell, thank you so much for your time today. I'll just note I'm looking on your website right now.
Great.
And there are some awards listed on the bottom I thought would be of interest to the listenership.
Yes.
The Royal Society for Public Health as a qualified approved centre.
Yeah, that's the, sorry Andy, that's the organisation that we're members of, the FRSPH, that's the Royal Society for Public Health. They're one of the leading training awarding bodies, as we call them, in the UK. That's right.
I'm looking as well and seeing a CPD certification, BRC, Food Northwest Awards.
Yes.
An award winner for the Society of Food Hygiene and Technology in 2009.
Yes.
Wigham Business and the Career Transition Partnership.
Yes, yeah.
So,
yeah, we're very proud of the awards that we've won as a company. I think probably the two key ones there, because they're national ones right across the UK. We have won Best Trainer of the Year on 2 occasions now, and Best Training Company of the Year, and numerous export awards as well. So, so we're very, very proud of those, and I think that's kind of testimony to the service that we give and the quality of our work in the consultancy, but also in the training materials as well.
Well, Russell, you have generously given us of your time. We appreciate it and welcome you back should you find additional items that would be of interest to our listenership.
Andy, I would very much welcome the opportunity to do that. Thank you very much for letting us speak to you on the show, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Russell.
Okay.
Bye now.
Thank you.